Coromandel Properties has filed a petition in BC Supreme Court asking for more time to restructure its finances. The company is involved in 16 real estate projects in Vancouver. Among them is Frame, a 10-story development on Kingsway with 219 units, some of which have been sold. The petition says the company has had difficulty servicing debt amid rising interest rates. So what does this mean for people who have invested?
If I was a buyer personally, I would be concerned, and I would take my contract of purchase and sale to a lawyer and get them to examine the wording and see what their options are. Are they able to get out of the contract?
Coromandel's development on Oak and West 62nd Avenue is 60% complete, and 22 of the 23 townhomes have already been sold, which Goldman says is a unique situation.
They would have potentially, sold their condo units 2 years ago, and they made the assumption that the underlying factors in the equation, the variables in the equation, would be constant. And nobody knew that interest rates would have gone up more than any time in recorded history in the shortest period of time.
This comes as new data from Statistics Canada shows 23% of homeowners in BC are property investors. Housing analyst Andy Yan has found that a third of all new properties built since the 2000s in Metro Vancouver were specifically for investment, and the rising interest rates pose a distinct dilemma.
I think that a lot of this is a bit of, uncertain territory, but yet I think at the same time, some profound kind of questions in terms of how Canadian housing policy ought to look like, as well as the finance behind it.
Despite the rocky conditions interest rates may have put some investors and developers in, Goldman does not see this as a precursor of further troubles. As for Coromandel, the petition says without protection, the company will not be able to explore restructuring and may be forced to liquidate its assets. Yasmin Gandham, CBC News, Vancouver.